Hey, Bill. Good to see you again.
Hi, Liz.
Hey, so we're just, counting down just about 22 hours from the beginning of Secrets of the Masters.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, Saturday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. So we just want to share, one more little tip before the class starts tomorrow. And so we were talking off camera before, and you said you'll share the sleep hack with everyone at the end of the video, like we did the last couple times. So it's one of those things where, gosh, so many people have problems with sleep.
Yeah, and it's gotten a lot worse. So, with all of this, global unrest, I'm getting a lot of people coming to me where they're having problems sleeping at night, and it's because they're watching the news and their head's spinning, and and there's financial, the health concerns, you name it, and it's keeping them up at night. Now, having said that, I've very natural method that just literally knocks you out. Uh, no drugs or anything, and you basically utilize your natural systems to cause yourself to go into a different brainwave state. Uh, the easiest way I can explain it to you is you've had times when you put your head down on your pillow and you are just boom, and next thing you know, it's like you woke up and it's morning and you're like, wow, that was a wonderful sleep. Or, for many of us, what happens is in the middle of the night, that 2 a.m. or whatever, all of a sudden, you get up, maybe you have to go to the restroom or something, and then you're staring at the ceiling for hours and you're like, I just want this night to be over. So anyway, getting yourself back down where you can just go to sleep and you're out, and next thing you know, it's morning. So these are in training your brain to a certain rhythm. I'm going to show you actually how to do that, and it's very simple, totally works. My students that have been in the classes, I get a real kick out of it because so many of them had lifelong problems with sleep and now they don't.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm sure for everyone out there who has had some sleepless nights, they can't wait to hear this process. I heard a really funny meme the other day. It said, well, I didn't get much sleep last night, but I did get in about 3 or 4 hours of anxiety.
Oh, that's good.
I think it's really true. I think that's what people are experiencing. So that will be fun and refreshing. So, but before we do that, I want to talk just a little bit more about the class that's coming up. We've been talking about it for the last few days. And I want to talk about what we're really doing here, what you're really going to be teaching. And it's really about being able to work, have real tools to work in the quantum field, right?
Well, that's quantum source energy, all there's a lot of different terms for it, but basically it's the ability to have tools that will allow you to have a better night's sleep, or not suffer, simply not suffer, and help others as well. Once you kind of understand these basic principles, holy cow, your personal power goes through the roof. You were kind of learned from an early age that uh, to be disempowered, right? That uh, you have very little power, and the government or your parents or the teachers or the boss, everybody else has got the power, but and you're struggling trying to get your power back. Well, these simple tools will immediately render all of those old beliefs no longer valid. You get to have your power back. And not only do you get to have your power back, but it is jumped up where it doesn't seem believable that you should be able to do that thing. For example, somebody's knee is hurt or they have a headache, and without you having to do anything externally, you boom, you make their knee pain or their headache or their anxiety, their fears, help them to make those things just simply go away where they don't feel it anymore. This is your natural God-given ability that you just didn't realize. You didn't realize that that was even possible.
Yeah, I think that's the coolest thing about the most magical thing about it is that it's not magic. That it's really, we use all these funny terms like quantum field and spiritual or consciousness. And all of those are real terms. We do throw them around. We're guilty. But they're really part of our physical world. They're something that's actually available to each and every person if you just know how to do it. And it's actually, an extension of what we're doing in cogno movement as well, that literally anything can be changed in our physical world, in our bodies, in the bodies of people around us, those of us that we have influence over, if we just know how to do it and what the principles are. And that's exactly what you're going to be teaching in this series, correct?
Yeah, and it's all, the techniques are fairly simple and quick. You may have seen some of the other two videos we just did over the past 2 days. I shared 2 other techniques that are simple, fast, quick. You can do them right then and there, and see if you get a result.
I want to say too, to a lot of our cognitive movement crowd, because a lot of you were with us last night, on the Facebook Live Free Cogno Hour, and saw a couple of miracles that happened. And I just want to bridge the gap. Like, what in the world does this have to do with that? Why is Bill Mckenna teaching cognitive movement and Secrets of the Masters? And really, the answer is that it's all a lot of the same thing. And these secrets, if you're a cogno mover, some of them you may have seen between cogno movement sessions. So it's all working with the physical body and the natural world and cognition and consciousness and all that, right?
Yeah. There certainly is the crossover. Last night, I I walked off that Facebook Live for the hour and a half that we were there, and I just felt so good because there were so many people there, and one kind of miracle after the next. Usually, I don't ask what the heck happened. I just say, because I don't want anybody to feel vulnerable. But last night I asked people to share the thing that was a 10 and it went to a 0. What was that? And everything from a 93-year-old man who had been suffering with 70 years was shaking. His signature was illegible. To he could now recognize his writing. He said it was so bad he couldn't do anything. There was another, there was just another woman who had pain at a level 9 all throughout her back, and it went to a 0. We had anxiety going, high levels of anxiety just going away. It was with one thing after the next.
Yeah, that was amazing. And if you're watching this and want to watch that, just go back to Bill Mckenna author page and you can watch the full video. It was really fantastic and miraculous. And within, our groups, we laugh all the time. Where's our miracle for the day? Because we now expect them. We create them out of this natural ability to work in our own energy, in our own fields, and with our own bodies. And so it's fantastic. So this weekend we're doing just the Secrets of the Masters. It won't include cogno movement because we're kind of going to teach the things you've gathered over the years that have been secrets, have been hidden from people, but you don't really feel like they should be secrets anymore, right?
No, these things, have been sequestered away in all kinds of traditions, in the Tibetan monasteries and things like that, that they were secrets, right, for the master and the disciples, and they didn't let them out, right, and people just weren't around, outsiders not around to access it. So in my view of things, the world's evolving and changing, and I think that everyone should have these natural skill sets. They have the natural ability, and for the world to further evolve, uh, you need to know the basic skills. It's kind of like a manual for you and your energetic body. How do I utilize uh, these parts of my body energetically that I have? Everybody has it, and to my benefit and the benefit of everybody around me.
You know, there is a little bit of the elephant in the room when we talk about these things, because some people are afraid. They feel like, oh, it's woo woo, or it comes from some negative source, or it's sorcery, or maybe you have to do a spell. And that is just not true. You're simply using the body's own natural rhythms, the body's own natural abilities, our own energetic field. I mean, those are scientific things. Heart Math Institute, BioWell, so many of these things, they're measurable scientifically. They're just part of our own natural world. And I think sometimes a little bit of religion has held it back. I think people get afraid of their own ability, their own power, but this is none of that. There's no spells, there's nothing. Really, it's a little bit funny when you learn it. You're like, duh. I mean, how did I just not figure that out on my own, right?
Right.
But
yeah,
it does require a skill set, a knowing of how these things work. And that's exactly what you're going to give people, the nuts and bolts. Here's how
right.
you do it. And here's how you can repeat it.
Exactly. It's there. The things here, they are now becoming measurable. Where we didn't think that you could measure like this energy field around you. Now we can. There's a device called a BioWell which actually measures it. They can show you all kinds of information that the Chinese with the acupuncture have known for millennia. They that they're sticking needles in different places, and they can stimulate or constrict energy, which has an impact on your body. But now there's scientific instruments that can actually measure this. They can even measure now the brain waves outside of the head. There's the EEG used to have to be attached to the head. Now there's an MEG, which is the actual sensors are outside of the head, and they can detect the brain wave and the relative part of the brain that's active or inactive in with this device. Both of them they're very expensive devices. They're at universities and medical facilities.
All of that is so cool because it's really showing us how amazing our bodies are. I mean, we are electrical. What do they do when someone's heart needs started again? They give it electricity. Like, we shock each other all the time. So we know energy is moving through our body. It has to, otherwise we're dead. We know that energy can get stuck and blocked, and that's the work of acupuncture, getting things moving again. So the point is our own natural ability to use this electrical selves, our electrical selves, how powerful our thoughts are. Like that MEG, can measure them outside our head. They're a real thing, electrical, hormonal, chemical, all of that. So this is really what we're talking about. I mean, we're trying to give an example of how this really is very physical and very doable. It's not one of those things that you learn and then you can't do it again once you're outside of the influence of the guru or the teacher. It's not. They're repeatable. And the people who've taken these classes, they use them all the time. It becomes really commonplace, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So let's give people one of these. We promised the sleep hack.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All
Let's
right.
give them the sleep hack.
Okay, here's the sleep hack. So this is very natural. And so you understand it, that this is all based in science. Now, your brain, you have different brainwave states. Right now, you're listening to me and you're in beta, right? So you're active, you're actively listening and engaged. When you drop down and let's say have a light meditation, or you find yourself tranced out with TV, alpha, and then you go into theta and delta. So you have these different brainwave states. Now, a brainwave is a wave. They literally can measure it. I'm not telling you anything new, you already know this. So you have something called entrainment. So when you watch TV, for example, they can actually put the brainwave cap on you to measure. And within less than 30 seconds, you go from beta down to alpha. So this is like a light meditation. Have you ever noticed you kind of zoning out watching TV? It happens really fast. And you have this entrainment. You can stimulate this entrainment through rhythm. So what we're going to do is, I mentioned to you, you get in bed, and let's say you're a little bit anxious, and then you notice yourself relaxing more and more and more, and you go and you end up going to sleep. So if you were to tap, let's say, how you feel when you're thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm really anxious, you would, if you tap that rhythm, it might be something like that was really fast. Now, if you tap the rhythm of right before you go to sleep, like you are just ready to go to sleep, you're going to see that rhythm is like barely tapping. So here's the process, is you put your hands across your body. Now, what do we know about going across the center line of the body? If you take your limbs and you put it across the center line of your body, what ends up happening is it allows a cross brain, left brain, right brain. The stress is in your left brain. So what we're doing is we're utilizing more of our brain, and we start tapping, and we tap how we feel, whatever that is, however you're feeling, thinking about your day, whatever it might be, there you are, you feel it, and you're tapping it. You see me tapping. Now, you breathe, hopefully through your nose. If you can't breathe through your nose, then breathe through your mouth. But in any event, you're going to breathe 5 times with your eyes open. When I say 5 times, I mean that's one breath, right? One in, one out. And you're breathing and you're tapping how you feel. And then you close your eyes. Now, when your eyes are open, they're accessing the conscious part of your brain. When your eyes are closed, they access a different part, or the unconscious portion of your brain. And you're tapping. And you're breathing. And you breathe in and out 5 times. Now, after you breathe in and out 5 times, what you do is you open your eyes and you keep tapping. And now you're going to slow the tap slightly. Now just breathe normally. I'm exaggerating here so that you can hear the breath. Now you're going to close your eyes. And when you close your eyes, you slow down the tap just a little bit more, just a little bit. And then you continue breathing. And then you open your eyes and you slow down a bit more. 5 breaths, 5 cycles, and then you close. So you're going intermittent. Open, 5 breaths, close, 5 breaths. And with each cycle, a little bit slower on the tap. By the time you get to 12 cycles, where you've opened and closed 12 times, most people don't get beyond 6 cycles or so, 6, 7 cycles, and they wake up in the morning. But I recommend 12 cycles, right? So it keeps you with a goal in mind to try to get to 12 cycles. You're going to find what's going to happen as you go on. You're going to be like, I don't really want to do this. I'm kind of tired. And then boop, you're out. And that's it. It's very, very simple. It's very natural. Eyes closed, unconscious part, eyes open, conscious part. And your breath has everything to do, which we know in the yogic traditions, it has everything to do with our connection from unconscious to conscious. So we're working our breath, we're working our eyes, which are conscious to unconscious, breath, unconscious to conscious, and the natural frequency following response of our brain. If we just keep slowing it down and slowing it down, our brain will slow down. So that's how it works. I hope you enjoy it. A lot of people, all my students really love this one. It's one of their favorites, especially for those people who wake up in the middle of the night, at that 2 a.m. and just can't go back down. It's really a wonderful thing.
Well, this is one that you used yourself, right?
Oh, yeah, it is. So I'll give you a tip, right? I had discovered this all a while back and put it all together. And I found that I would completely forget. You're sitting there with your eyes wide open. It's 2 a.m. and your eyes are open. You're looking at the ceiling. You just completely like amnesia. You forget. But I ended up, and this is several years back, but I got horribly sick. And the only thing I wanted to do was just sleep. So I'd be sleeping, sleeping probably 20 hours a day. But I just, because I felt so miserable, I just wanted, if I could knock myself out, that would be great. So because I just was like, okay, knock yourself out, boom, 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 boom. And I would go back down, and anyway, so then it became very much part of me because I did it, for the better part of a month of that incident. Anyway, yes, so you're going to probably forget about this. My hope for you is you'd make yourself a little note that's by your bedside as a reminder, and then it'll make it so that you can really enjoy the benefits of this.
So that was a lot of fun. And I really encourage everyone to use this one because it really works. And as you can tell, if you are sick like that and need to keep falling back asleep, it works again and again and again. It's not just one time.
Yes. It'll knock you out.
Yeah. All right, everybody. There is your fun quantum tip for the day, sleep hack. So tomorrow morning, it starts at 9 a.m. Now it will be recorded. So if you're in a time zone like Europe or Australia where you can't watch, you can watch the recorded version. We'll send those out when it's done. But it's so much fun live. I mean, the interaction is great.
And if you are somewhere else in the world, you can join for part of it. And when you do get up or before you go to sleep, join for part of it, and then you'll get the recording.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this is just going to be one in a series of many over the next year. That'll be so much fun, and they'll be cumulative. So you don't want to miss out on the first one, because what you'll learn this time will build on to the next time. You can take the second one on its own too, but if you have these, you're that much farther ahead. So cognomovement.com, and it's in the events section. Secrets of the Masters, go ahead and register now. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Bill Mckenna events at gmail.com. And I put them both, if you're on Facebook, I put them both in the comments below. So go ahead and click on either of those and come and join us. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Register now.
Yeah, register
It's
now.
going to be great.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Bill. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
All right.
Bye, everybody.